How did Calgary's real estate market wrap up in 2024 and what's ahead for 2025? Here is your update. 2024 started off exceptionally strong, where Calgary remained in a strong seller's market, and a majority of the price gains that we saw in Calgary happened in the first part of 2024. Clearly, in a higher interest rate environment, which had an impact on the market, as well as low inventory, created challenging and tight conditions for buyers and sellers. Now, the sales stayed strong in 2024, where we just finished a little bit below the number of sales we saw in 2023, and we were just a few sales shy of 27,000 sales in the marketplace. Population growth continues to obviously be a strong driver for activity here in the province of Alberta, where in 2024 we saw 4.5% increase in population growth. Now we are anticipating that these numbers are going to slow down a bit here in 2025, as they're predicting that we're going to see a 2.5% population increase in the province. Easing of the lending rates has increased demand, especially in the single family sector, and we saw this in the last quarter of 2024. While supply constraints shaped trends in this marketplace, especially in the lower price points due to affordability and limited available product, which again helped push our prices up year over year. We saw the overall inventory jump by nearly 38% year over year here this past December, and we're sitting with roughly 2.25 months of inventory in the marketplace, which is still considered a seller's market, as we know that 2.5 months is entering into more of a balanced market conditions. Higher priced homes saw the greatest gains, leading to more balanced conditions in the later part of the year. Some of the trends and drivers for growth that we saw in the marketplace are the affordable districts like Northeast, East led price growth with increases exceeding 15%. The luxury markets in City Center and West held steadily with moderate gains. And the December year-over-year benchmark price trends saw the detached homes up by 7.2%. The benchmark price was sitting at $747,500. Semi-detached homes at $677,600, which is up by 8.4%. Row homes and townhouses at $447,400, an increase of the average benchmark price of 5.9%. And last but not least, apartments came in at an average benchmark price of $332,400, which is up by 6.8% compared to December of 2023. Early 2024 saw intense competition, steep price gains, and particularly in the spring and early part of the summer. As inventory increased in the later part of the year, which helped stabilize the price growth a bit, with the higher end market showing more balance. There are certain segments in the marketplace where we are seeing more of a balanced market conditions, and perhaps even some buyer markets as well. So it really depends on what segment that you're in, especially in anything below, I would say about $900,000 in the city of Calgary is considered to be in a buyer's market with less than 2.5 months of inventory. And this can fluctuate depending on property type and price point in each segment. One of the things that was a hot topic in 2024 was interest rates. We saw the last interest rate decrease here on December 11th by 0.5 point, where the Bank of Canada rate is now currently sitting at 3.25%. We are anticipating that we will see further interest rate reductions here in 2025, as Canada is in a recession and there are many provinces and people that are struggling financially. Interest rates will create some relief for those people that are in the variable mortgage product. The fixed mortgage product is directly connected to the Canadian bond rates, especially the 5-year product. Now, we haven't seen a big drop here, where the rates have fluctuated in the last quarter and a bit in the mid 4s to the low 4s. But if you're looking at conventional mortgage, we're seeing 1-year rates of about 7.24%, 3-year rates around 6.5%, and a 5-year around 6.49%. The prime rate at most banks is sitting right at and around 5.45%. But if you are someone who is looking to renew your mortgage, and clearly there's a lot of Canadians and Calgarians for that matter who have their mortgage rates up for renewal this year and next year. If you are looking at that fixed rate mortgage product, it is anticipated that this rate will stick in and around the 4% mark, so that will probably be the new norm. And if you are up for renewal now here this year, you can anticipate that this will add an additional $400 to $600 a month on your monthly payment, depending on the mortgage amount that you have outstanding with the banks. Now let's dive into the with buyer choices. Clearly, in the last several years, we saw an incredibly low inventory market, which was a fast-paced market where buyers were competing for a limited number of properties available. We had a lot of bidding wars. It's a market that was incredibly stressful for buyers and for sellers. Seeing more inventory coming onto the market here in the later half of 2024 is a bit of a relief, as some segments allowed buyers now to perhaps negotiate a better price, better conditions, and have the ability to really, let's be real, sleep on making that big decision, because buying a home is typically the largest purchase that a family or an individual will make in their lifetime. Inventory rose by nearly 37% year over year, especially in the higher priced segments and apartments. Buyers in the $700,000 plus range can expect a more balanced market conditions with less competition depending on what property type. If you're in a single family home, let's say under $900,000, it's still a fairly tight market. But if you then go into the apartment or townhome segments in the $600,000 to $700,000 price range, you are more in a balanced market conditions. As we saw, the apartment inventory increase significantly, and in some of these segments, it's definitely a buyer's market, offering more affordability with less sense of competition, especially in the city center and the northeast districts. Strongest affordability is sitting in the east and the northeast districts, lower prices, but higher year-over-year growth. The higher end buyers are typically seeking inner city and city center or in the west district of Calgary. Now, if you are someone who is looking to sell your home, and perhaps you are a homeowner who are considering either moving up, downsizing, or you are just looking for a different lifestyle change, many sellers in the previous years chose not to put their house up for sale because the biggest challenge was finding the next home, especially if you're looking to move locally. But there's a strong demand for affordable homes, especially single family homes under $700,000 remain in high demand. We just put a property on the market here on Thursday, and we have had over 100 showings on that property over the weekend. It is going into competing offers where we had over 10 offers on this property. So again, certain pockets, certain segments, and with the right marketing strategies, we can still create competing offer scenarios. I think it's very important, if you are someone who's looking to sell, that you do have the right strategies in place and realistic expectations, because not every price point, not every property type is in high demand, and that's where you need to have the right strategies and the right marketing plan. Row and semi-detached homes are still being sought after. Again, pricing is important. Detached homes lead the market as it's the most desirable property type, which is what we saw here in December, and sellers can capitalize on that steady demand. Sellers in the higher price segment can leverage balanced market conditions to stand out, but it is important to have the right marketing plan, the right strategies to ensure that you attract the right buyers so you can sell your property for top dollar in the current market. You cannot expect to have competing offer scenarios on your property, and you also have to price it realistically. The East and Northeast District saw the highest price growth year over year, and the prime opportunity for sellers are in these areas to maximize your returns. Again, this is why it's incredibly important that if you are looking at selling, that you sit down with a trusted real estate advisor and you get a really comprehensive market analysis where you discuss marketing strategies, how to put your property in front of more eyeballs than anyone else. And this is one area that I'm very confident with the Justin Havre Real Estate team's Havre home selling system, where we have now assisted over 11,000 families in our market, and we're incredibly honored to having done so. We are also incredibly confident in the marketing machine that we have developed, tested, and proven time and time again. And with hundreds of thousands of visitors to our websites each month, puts more eyeballs on our clients' listings when we feature them and when we work with sellers like perhaps yourself. One of the things we also got to touch on here for Calgary is the employment stats. Clearly, across Canada, there are many provinces who are struggling right now, where they are in a recession. Total employment that we have in Calgary right now as of November of 2024 was just shy of 1 million at 997,800 jobs. When the Calgary economic region records a 7.3% unemployment rate for November. What that means is that Calgary Economic Region, the CER, added roughly 32,600 positions between November of 2023 and November of 2024. We will see some of these employment stats here as we get into 2025, but as we know, Calgary's economy continued to be strong as long as energy prices remain where they are at. Again, we have some economic and political uncertainty here on the horizon, which we all know could have an economic impact on us. The last time there was a change in the administration, administration, or when Trump got into power, I should say, where there ended up being a bit of a battle between OPEC and the US when it came to oil prices, and we all know what impact that had here in Calgary and in Alberta, because we saw OPEC flood the market with supply, which drove the prices down. And part of their strategy there was to ensure that they would drive the prices down so that it wouldn't make economic sense for any of the companies in the US to drill and explore oil, because part of that mandate back then was drill, 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 and they wanted to obviously become self-sufficient when it came to energy. So that created a little bit of a battle between the US and OPEC, and that had an impact on the price of oil, which we know had an impact on our economy here in this province. So again, a little bit of uncertainty there with what may happen this time around, and as long as the price of oil can remain between that $70 to $90 US a barrel, I think Alberta will continue to do well. But again, we need to keep our eyes wide open because anything could happen. So what will we see here in 2025? Probably still a fairly strong seller's market, and or again, just teetering into that balanced market, as we're seeing obviously already out of the gates, very active marketplace already, and we're only a few days here into 2025, even in this cold weather. Anticipate that trend will probably go in line, very similar to what we saw here in 2024. Strong out of the gate, prices perhaps peaking in the summertime, and then it will start to taper off again. All of these things could change with any major economic event and political event. So again, we have obviously some threats of some tariffs coming on here in January that we all know could have an economic impact on the Canadian economy as well. Clearly, the Canadian dollar is weaker. That means that cost of building in the marketplace, or in Canada for the matter of importing of any goods, that's going to create an increase in the cost of even building homes or any other products that we import. The crystal ball is nobody has it, but we do know that people will buy and sell based on circumstances and needs. And clearly, Calgary continues to be an incredibly affordable and attractive city to live in. I do believe that we will continue to see more and more people moving to the city, clearly not at the pace that we've seen here in the previous years. If you're looking to invest in real estate, it's not about timing the market, it is about time in the market. And if you're looking to make any sort of move, or if you would like to know what your home would fetch in the current market, feel free to reach out to us, 403-217-0003, or visit us online at justinhavre.com, or you can also visit us on calgary.com, where you actually have the opportunity to look at that website in multiple languages. Just look at the little drop-down screen that we have, and you can choose your language to search for Calgary real estate on calgary.com. Make sure that you subscribe now to our January forecast breakdown and stay ahead of Calgary's dynamic housing market. Click on the notification bell so that you never miss a market update from us again.